Hey there my friend, what is up? Are you looking to avoid distractions as a songwriter? Well then this video is for you. So today I thought it'd be cool to just take a little break from giving you songwriting tips and show you how you can actually reduce or even eliminate the number of distractions and things that are distracting you in your life so that you can actually make more time for your music and make more time for your songwriting. So be sure to stick around to the end because I've actually got a bonus tip for you. I'll be giving you 3 tips on how you can actually eliminate and reduce the amount of distractions in your life, and be sure to stick to the end because I've got a bonus tip for you that you don't want to miss. As always, if you like this video after watching it, be sure to click that subscribe button down below. Alright, let's get it! Ooh. Let's go. Hey there my friend, if you're new to this channel, my name is Jackie Ferrari and this is the best place to be if you are a songwriter or a musician. On this channel I cover topics such as how you can 1, make more time for your music, and 2, how you can write better songs faster. Also, I'm an artist myself, so I do release my own music on this channel as well, and I've got some cool music that I'll be dropping soon, so be sure to stay tuned. Such a beautiful day, I just had to get outside. I thought I'd take advantage of the weather. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. These tips are actually going to not only help you when you're writing songs, but they're actually going to help you when you're doing other work, stuff that is not related to your music, such as if you're on your job, you got work to do, you want to get it done faster, you want to eliminate distractions, or if you're doing schoolwork, things like that. These tips are going to help you not only with your music so you can be able to eliminate distractions and focus on your music, but also so you can focus on your other non-music related work, get that done faster, and then when you get that done, you'll have more time to focus on your music. So it's a win-win situation. These tips will work for many different areas of your life. So yeah, let's dig in. All right, so let's break down these 3 tips really quickly. So the very first thing that is good for you to do, my friend, is to 1, identify the source. So what apps, what websites, what notifications are the things that are actually distracting you? Because once you identify the source, again, you cannot prove or fix what you do not measure. So if you're not measuring what's actually distracting you, so figure out what apps, what notifications, what websites are actually distracting you. So another thing you can do is to use a site blocker. There are tons of them out there on the market. You got site blockers like Cold Turkey, you got Freedom. There's plenty of others out there. You can just look up site blocker on Google, but one of the ones that I found, one of my favorites, is called Cold Turkey, and I found that it's my favorite because it's one of the toughest ones out there on the market. You can't get around, there's no way to get around it. So if you block a site, the site's blocked. I don't even think it'll let you uninstall it while the block is going. So you can just set different times. Actually click right here to check out a couple of my blocks. These are just a couple of blocks, things that I block during the day and as needed. I block stuff during class. I block stuff while I'm working on music just to ensure that I can focus. It's really cool because you can not only block websites, but you can also block applications both on your computer and on your phone. And there's certain site blockers where you can even link your computer and phone together so you can just do it all at once, which is super cool. I completely understand that sometimes you may need your phone for what you're doing, but if you do need your phone for whatever work that you're doing, make sure that you have your phone on Do Not Disturb mode, that you also put it on airplane mode to make sure that you're not getting distracted while you're doing work on your phone. And if you don't need your phone, which chances are you probably don't, just turn it off. Turn it off, put it in another room. Actually, this is what I do. So a lot of times when I'm working, I turn my phone off, I put it all the way upstairs. I even do this before I'm going to bed just to make sure that I can get enough sleep. So just so I don't get distracted and start, mindlessly scrolling on Instagram and then end up staying up later than I should be, I always put my phone in another room. And if I don't put it in another room, it's in a drawer where I can't see it, or in my book bag where it's just out of sight. You ever heard the phrase out of sight, out of mind? Well, it's definitely true when it comes to distractions. So if you don't need your phone, just turn it off, put it away, put it where you can't see it. All right, so tip number 2 is to prioritize your music with a thing called deep work. Now, deep work is basically this concept of working uninterrupted. It's when you are able to get your focus in a very deep state. On average, it takes about 17 minutes for us to focus on something. Now, your deep work session is going to be especially powerful for you if you do it in the morning. And I stand by that. That means before you, obviously wake up and get dressed, brush your teeth and all that. If you're doing it after you're going to work, it's not going to be as effective because in the morning, 1, most of the world is still sleeping, especially if you're waking up at like 5, 6 a.m. Most of the world is still sleeping, so there's not as many distractions automatically just because of the time. Second of all, when you first wake up, your willpower is generally going to be highest in the morning, so you're going to be able to get more stuff done and more stuff done faster. So here's the first thing that you can do with deep work is to 1, get your hardest task done first. So Whether that's related to your job or related to work, if you get your hardest task done first, the rest of your day is a whole lot easier. You can focus on music without feeling guilty because you haven't done that hard task. You've been procrastinating, putting it off. Now your hardest task is done. Let's say it's a schoolwork or studying for a test. Now the rest of your day, you can go to classes. You don't have to study. You don't have to think about studying the rest of the day. You don't have to think about it the rest of the day. Your hardest task is out of the way. Your day is a whole lot easier when you get the hardest task done first. And when you do that, you're able to focus on music more because you're not thinking about all the things you have to do. You can just focus on music and actually enjoy it. The second way that you can leverage deep work is you can also do your music in the morning. You can do the opposite of what I suggest. Either of these ways are going to be effective, but you can also do your music in the morning and make sure that gets prioritized. Try either way, see which one works better for you. But I think for me, I found it more effective to do my music in the morning just because I know that a lot of times in the afternoon, I do get kind of slumped and my focus tends to go down. And if I don't prioritize music, now I'm doing music in the afternoon and since my music is a priority for me, it's not being done during the time when I'm most effective, and I tend to get less done when it comes to music. So if I do it in the morning, I know that that's prioritized. I get it out of the way. I can move on to other things that are, in my opinion, less important during the day, like schoolwork. School is important, but my music is a priority because that's my dream, that's my goal. So if you put your dreams and goals above other things, you make them my priority, your life's gonna change. You're gonna be able to get more done. Experiment with both of these ways and let me know in the comments. I'm curious, which one are you gonna try? Start tomorrow, implement. Implementation is what changes your lives. So make sure that you implement on the tips we've already talked about. And let's go on to tip number 3. So tip number 3, my friend, and also after this tip, be sure to stick around. I've got a bonus tip for you after this one. So tip number 3 is to leverage a focus trigger. It should be something that you leverage as soon as, or the moment that you recognize that you've gotten distracted. Automatically do this. It should be automatic. It's gonna take time, but the more that you do it, the more that it will become automatic and the more that you'll be able to leverage this focus trigger. So I'll give you an example. My focus trigger is when I get distracted or when I scroll on Instagram too long, we have like a back wall in the basement. There's a door in the back. I automatically get up out of my chair, walk to the back door, come back and sit down and refocus on what I was originally doing before I got distracted. Leveraging this focus trigger is going to be so important because this is just going to be something that you train yourself to do. The moment you recognize that you got distracted, you're going to be able to save a lot of time by implementing this. Be realistic and be patient with yourself. It might take you a couple weeks to get used to or to automatically learn how to implement the focus trigger. As with learning any new habit, it takes time. So give yourself a few weeks, but I think after a few weeks, if you try this consistently on a daily basis, you'll find that you'll be a lot more focused than you were previously. Ultimately, my friend, when you recognize how important what you are is doing, that the world needs to hear your music, when you recognize that, think of all the people who could hear your songs one day. And every time you get distracted, you were taking away from that. You were taking away from them because remember, you don't just write songs for yourselves, you write it for other people. So just think about all the people who could be impacted by you focusing on your music and think about that every time you get distracted. And every time you have that in mind, it's going to be a lot easier to implement the focus triggers if you keep that in mind. Just remember why you're doing what you're doing and how important what you're doing is, and that no distraction should ever take precedence over your goals. No distraction should ever be more important than what you're doing. And just remember what you're missing out on or what you could be missing out on every time you get distracted. So just wanted to remind you to keep that in mind. I just wanted to make a quick little disclaimer really fast because I know some of you guys are going to be like, well, if I can't get on Instagram or I can't go on social media, well, when can I? That's a good question, my friend. So it's great to do this at the end of your workday. My only point in this video was to say that you shouldn't be getting distracted. You shouldn't be on social media scrolling on whatever site that you're doing. Whatever you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it during your workday. You should be extremely focused, leveraging those focus triggers and locked in. It's totally fine to do this at the end of your workday, as long as you've gotten your music in, you've gotten your schoolwork done, your job, whatever it is that you need to do each day, as long as you've gotten the most important things done. Feel free to do whatever. But make sure that you absolutely get your work done before you sit and, binge watch that next Netflix show or, binge scroll on social media. Just make sure that your work comes first. I'll also add on to that when you schedule these certain activities, so such as scrolling on social media or binge watching Netflix shows, those are things that you obviously enjoy. You can't go through life and never enjoy life. I'm not saying you have to be this perfect human who never gets distracted, who never enjoys life. But one thing that you can do to make that easier, if you schedule that in before you schedule your work in, schedule those fun activities or whatever, whether it's social media or whatever it is, a distraction that you really want to do, schedule that in at the end of your day before you schedule in your work, because now that it's scheduled in, you see, okay, once I get my work done, I can actually do these things, and that should be a motivator to actually get your work done. So one, that helps you to get in your fun, to be able to enjoy life without sabotaging yourself in terms of your work or your goals or your dreams, things that are more important than that. But two, it also helps you to make sure that you actually are able to enjoy life and to wind down and to be able to do fun activities. So it serves two purposes. All right, so before I hop off of here, I wanted to give you a bonus tip as promised. And the bonus tip is to make sure that you are taking proper breaks during your work day. And you may be wondering, how does breaks help me with focusing? Well, my friend, I'm actually really glad you asked, and it's because oftentimes we get distracted when our energy is really low or we get bored, and for most people, it's usually in the afternoon. That's what we call the afternoon slump. And so to be able to combat this afternoon slump, you have to be able to make sure that you're taking proper breaks to help ensure that you focus. Because again, you can't just be working for 3 hours straight and expect your focus to be at peak capacity. It's just not going to be there unless you're taking breaks here and there within that 3 hours. So make sure that you take a 2 to 5 minute break every hour or so, and make sure that you are not on your technology. That is key. I know our lives are centered around technology, but you have to take breaks from your technology throughout the day. One, that is going to boost your energy. Two, it's going to make sure that you're really focused and in tune. And three, technology is the biggest source of your distractions. So if you're not on technology, it's a lot harder to even get distracted in the first place. If you can, try to make sure that you get outside. Like I'm out here right now. It's a beautiful day. I had to take advantage of the day to come out here and film this. It's just such a gorgeous day. Make sure that you get outside for a couple minutes. Or if you can, you're in an office building, you can't necessarily go outside during the day. Totally understand. Make sure that you're walking around, or at least that you get moving in some shape, form, or fashion. It's going to not only boost your energy, but it's going to help you focus more and make your mind sharper. So personally, what I do is every 1 hour to 90 minutes, I usually take a 2 to 5 minute break away from my technology. That can usually be in the form of even just restroom breaks. Like just go to the bathroom if you got to go. Like if you drink more water, you're going to go to the bathroom more often. It's going to force you to take more breaks. So that's oftentimes those are my breaks, just bathroom breaks. Like that gets me away from my technology. I also make sure that I get 10 to 15 minutes of sunshine every single day. Just go outside, even if it's a cloudy or rainy day, just making sure that I stand outside. So one, that I'm in touch with nature, and two, that I make sure that am actually getting away from all the distractions, just so I can refocus and recharge in a healthy way. My friend, let me know in the comments below, which tip did you find most helpful? Let me know which tip you found most helpful. I'll respond to your comment. Also, if you have a question, of course, drop it in the comments as well, but let me know which tip did you find most helpful. And not only which tip did you find most helpful, but when are you actually going to start implementing the 3 tips that I shared with you, plus the bonus tip? Because learning stuff is great, but if you don't actually do anything with the information you learned, you just wasted your time watching this video. I'm going to be honest with you. Make sure that you implement everything that we talked about. I want you to be able to become the best songwriter you can be, which is why I provide you this free value on a bi-weekly basis as of right now. Every other week I'm posting videos, but everybody needs a coach or some sort of mentor to help take them to the next level at whatever their craft is. That's why I've created an 8-week coaching program showing you a lot of the strategies and things in this video that I've actually learned myself to be able to help me get back 10 to 15 hours a week for my music. And the focus on the program is helping you as a busy, aspiring songwriter do 2 things. One is to make more time for your music, and 2 is to write better songs faster. So my friend, if you're looking to get coaching and mentoring in both of those areas in your life, if you want to help with either of those things, I got you. I'm your girl. So click the link in the description below so we can book a call and we can have a conversation about how I can best be of help to you in this program. So ultimately, I want to see you win, but again, I can only provide you so much free value. At some point, investing in yourself is the way to go and to take your skills to the next level. Yeah, if you haven't clicked the link already, I don't know why you haven't, but make sure that you click the link before this video is over so we can talk about how I can best be of help to you and how this program can really benefit you. But if you think you got this, on your own, if you don't want to take your songwriting to the next level and you haven't clicked the link below, that's totally cool. But right here, you can check out a playlist of other videos I made in terms of how you can write better songs faster. So go check it out, drop some comments in those videos, leave likes, all that good stuff. And of course, if you like this video, which I hope you did, like the video, make sure to comment below those things that I asked you already, and also to comment below what your thoughts on the video, if you have any questions, anything you'd like me to cover in the future, or just your thoughts on the video. Also, of course, if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. Either tag me on Instagram with your top takeaways, or just tag me on Instagram with the clip of you watching this video. Would really appreciate it. I love it when you check out my videos and tag me on Instagram. So make sure that you do that. And of course, thanks for watching, my friend. See you next time. Peace.